everybody, we back with yet another episode of With Time We Can. Somebody that I really feel like has a lot to offer to the world, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to share his story.
Hello everyone.
All right. So he is an individual who did a very substantial amount of time, more time than what I was actually alive. And I just wanted to give him an opportunity to come on here and to share a little bit about his childhood and, you know, what are the events that led up to his incarceration, what he has learned during incarceration, what he's doing now, his road to redemption. So, Mr. Leslie, I just want to get started, man. So how's everything with you?
Well, I'm still feeling my way, as you said. I've been incarcerated for a very long time. I come out during the birth or early stage of the COVID virus, and the world has a different picture and influence because of the COVID.
Right.
Along with realizing that it also affects the economy and everything. A lot of people suffering financially, trying to make ends meet, and in that sense, it's very difficult for me to find my way. But I'm grateful to meet or come in contact with people such as yourself that help me along the way with, you know, various supplies and stuff that one can get. And mainly, I'm just grateful to be out, alive and breathing. And as I said, the key is just trying to adjust to this new world, you know.
So, question, just for the viewers, how long were you incarcerated for?
I tell people 40 years, but it's 39 years and 2 months and some odd days.
Wow.
I'm not proud of that. You can say that's probably beyond my prime. I was 26 when I started this long incarceration off, and now I'm 65. And you know, now I'm out, so that's like a lifetime or more to me.
Yeah. You. It was really a lifetime. Now, I just wanted to ask, like, was this all one crime, or was it a multitude of things?
It was a multitude of things. I wasn't too much of a thinker. A lot of I accumulated with silly escape attempts and stuff that unfortunately I got caught, and I got more time for this, more time for that.
Okay.
I violated every point of parole, so when I finally got to the state, they froze my time and made me do my remaining 6 years on my back time, and it was 6 years there, and then I had a 10 to 20 on a robbery. I maxed out the whole 20, and I had a 7 to 14 on attempt escape, and I maxed out on that. So you can, you know,
do the math.
Yeah. 14, 20, and then 6. So
39. So basically, you were in prison for 39 years straight, but it was a mixture of an escape charge that you maxed out on, a robbery charge, and a violation of parole.
Yeah, on every point. So
every point.
You don't normally get a 6-year flat sentence, but they just were so disgusted with me. Whatever you got left, just do it, you know.
Wow. So what events led up to your incarceration? Like what made you think that?
What you allowing myself to be influenced by the negativity outside of the house and all that. It doesn't really reflect on my family. I think I had a good family. I was sort of rebellious, and you know, I can't blame it mainly on my pop where he left, and it's hard for a woman, you know, mother to try to be the mother and father. And so I started clinging to different groups, you know, robbing, stealing, and you know, Mom did the best she could do, but me being a boy, you know, punishing me, or beating me or whatever, but it just got to the point, I guess, well, I can't do nothing. If I do anything else to him, I'm going to end up killing him. I don't want to kill my son, so. I can't blame nobody but me. I mean, I can say it was the combination of the bad influence of people around. Well, that might have been in the beginning, but after one spell of incarceration, another spell, the only break I think I got in incarceration was I didn't have too much of a juvenile incarceration. But as a adult, unfortunately, I had a long spell. So
let's start with the robbery. Like, What type of robbery was it? Like, was it a home invasion, or did you just walk up to somebody?
Well, the robbery that got me incarcerated?
Yeah.
Well, to be truthful with you, there was something out of the city near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. A little petty jewelry store, you know. It wasn't no, I'm not going to make it more than it was. It wasn't no real expensive, valuable joint. And got caught, you know. And,
Yeah.
I got 10 and 20 for that, and unfortunately, every sentence I got, I ended up maxing out on. You know, I didn't plan to max out on it, but
yeah,
it happened, and I guess I could have got it. I just wasn't too much of a thinker. When you got all that time, facing 40 years or more, it's so dark. It's like looking in a deep, dark tunnel, and you don't see no way out. You know?
Right,
and
right.
sort of cloud and reasoning and stuff. So.
Right.
I wasn't too much of a thing. I did a lot of stuff off impulse and emotion, and unfortunately, I sort of buried myself in jail, you know.
So how'd you get caught, like in the jewelry store, robbing it?
I guess the owner of the store, he wasn't secure to what we thought, and he got loose and, you know, called. Something else happened for somebody to call the cops, and they sort of bust us, you know, apprehended accidentally, and then realized, it was like a traffic violation or something. They said, oh, they got watches and rings in there.
So you guys actually got out of the jewelry store and got away.
Yeah. Now they supposedly, the way they busted is they violated our Fourth Amendment rights, so they supposedly had shunned all the physical evidence. Right. But they still ended up using it, you know.
Right.
So we still got railroaded, but they really had, that was the only evidence they had, and they didn't stop us for a robbery. They stopped us for like a traffic violation.
Okay.
And it supposedly had been thrown out at the preliminary hearing, but unfortunately, still mentioned in the testimony and stuff, and we got, you know, what they found in the car, so we still got convicted for something that we shouldn't have gotten.
Right.
And what we got busted at in Harrisburg, you know, anybody outside of, you know, Harrisburg, the guys from New York or Maryland or Philly come in, they know you put the hammers in. I mean, you know, the maximum sentence or something real hard. So
yeah. Because you're doing stuff away from home, they look at it. Okay, I get you.
You coming up here influencing out of town with negativity. But I don't really wish there's other people had longer incarcerations in me. I don't wish no one to have a long incarceration, longer than mine or shorter than mine. But if they do, the best thing you can do being incarcerated is just try to collect your thoughts, analyze the negative and positive, and try to balance it out. You know, balance your bad out with good, your positive, outbalance that negative with positive, etc.
Absolutely.
It's easy said and done, but you got plenty of time, depending on how much time you got to get into yourself. When you're in jail, the best thing you can do is really get into yourself and try to figure out what you're going to do different this time if you're fortunate to come back out. A lot of brothers ain't fortunate to come back out. They don't like bits or whatever, something worse than that. So for those of us can get back out, you just got to make the best of it, because you can't take nothing for granted, because you might be in a situation where you ain't got no numbers. You're doing the L, that's life, you know. And everybody's not fortunate to come off of life, but some guys can, if they can prove something was illegal to seize in their case, but everybody can't.
So I got another question for you. So can you describe the escape attempt?
Oh yeah, I definitely describe that. Chief of Watching, I won't mention the guys, but they seen me go over the fence. I had help. A guy on one boosting one leg, another guy boosting my other leg. And
this is out in the yard?
Yeah, out in the yard. And I was so ignorant, I almost lost some of my fingers, because I was getting ready to go up on the part where they got razor wire. Razor wire, I wouldn't have had no fingers when I did that. I did it with a barbed wire, and some miraculous reason, only one barbed wire got caught in this hand. Yeah. Out of all, no other hand, but it got caught in that hand, and I was able to, it got ripped up when he caught me, took me to the hospital, they wouldn't even stitch it up. They said because it might be infected. He was out, them few hours running around. So, anyway, them guys boosted me up. I was able to go over that fence. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a guard between the gate. He would have shot me, he might have killed me, but he so excited running with a shotgun bigger and heavier than him, he fell and went off, but it didn't hit me or nobody.
Really?
And when he got up, I was already on the other side. The other fence was a little short. I already had flipped over out of fear and kept rolling. Yeah. I didn't know where I was going at. They thought it was a neighboring projects there with blacks and whites. So that's the first place they went at, but I wasn't there.
Right.
My instinct made me go across the street called Paxton Street. That was right in front of the jail on one side. And then on the other side, it was a route 309. I think one way you can just keep going past Harrisburg, maybe all the way up to Pittsburgh. The other way you can go back to Philly. I think it was 30 something. I think it was 309. And I went across that double highway going opposite ways, and there was a train track there, like a freight train thing. I was going to jump on that, but there was so many what you call railroad cops on it with guns and stuff. I don't know what they had on the railroad thing. They must have something real valuable. They had a whole bunch of cops guarding every freight train on there.
Wow.
So I couldn't jump on that. And I was sort of fortunate. I had help by, I guess he was a railroad cop, but he was off. And he asked me, what you do? I said, look, all I did was crash. I lied to him. I just crashed my car. I don't have no license. And he drove me where I wanted to go at and let me go. But he didn't realize I was an escaped convict until later on. And,
wow.
I got almost back to 12 miles from Philly, but I ran out of money and I didn't know the guy that helped shave me and all that stuff told him,
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I got off at Paoli. I think that they said where I got off at Paoli, Pennsylvania, was like 12 miles from Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you was on the train or the bus with all this?
A train, Now a guy at the same time, when I escaped, I don't know if he did it for me. He probably didn't do it for me. He must have been running from the law too. He stuck up a taxi cab driver, made him drive him all the way to Philly. They thought that was me.
Okay.
When they busted me, they was gonna give me that charge, but the man said he couldn't have did that. We know how he got busted in Paoli. The state troopers had me, and if I'd have went to the regular train station, how you get off the train and go, and go, they would have busted me. But for some reason, I didn't go that way. I went through the parking lot. And there was a state trooper there with his gun looking for me, but he didn't know who I was. I walked right by him. I didn't have no fear to French enough. And I remember him saying when they finally caught me, yeah, he walked by me, but he didn't flinch enough, so I thought he was going to his car or something. I just walked. In other words, like when you park your car lot, instead of going in the building where everybody else going in, there's a little section where you park your car lot, and I just walked right by. He didn't say nothing.
Wow.
So I just walked a couple of blocks in there. No problem. The next, when you're in them little townships, like before you know it, you out in the open. You don't see no more houses, no more nothing. Next thing I know, I'm totally surrounded by all types of state troopers. I mean, they had me in a big circle with every type of gun I can think of and didn't know.
Really?
And if I would have jumped, I wouldn't be here today. So there was no way. Yeah, there's no way I could escape. I couldn't do nothing. So they wasn't really sure who I was. And they took me to the state troopers building and fingerprint me and all that stuff. And they came down and got me, but. I didn't know the guy had told him. The same guy that helped shave me and all that gave me just enough to get on. I think he made $8, $10, something like 8 something, 9 something. The same guy that gave me all that stuff told him. I don't understand that, why shave me and all that stuff.
So how long was you on the run?
I was only out for a few hours, maybe like 6 hours or something like that. Just a few hours.
Wow.
I could have probably made it if this guy didn't say nothing, but he did. So, so that's what happened. But I never planned to do a long bit. I remember my old head told me he had just got from doing 30 straight years, and he started off from the Eastern. I never been in the Eastern, and he said I did 30 years. I did I think 20 years in the Eastern. He said, look, I can look at you, young buck, call me young buck. You heading down the same way I go. He was a Christian, old head guy. I didn't pay no attention. I said, I wouldn't do all that time. Like, I'll make them kill. It's easy to say all this stuff, but when they got the drop, when they got guns on them, either you're gonna make them kill you or you're gonna submit.
Right, right.
I ended up doing all this time, and I started thinking about that over here. I don't know if he's still living in that, because he had a great bush. Like
And this was back when,
Yeah, so I don't know if he's still living. If he is, he's a very old man, because I think he was, in the 60s or something when I first met him. That was in, I think it was in the 70s or the end of the mid 70s or something like that.
Right.
And I hope he is living, but I'm not sure. And I probably wouldn't recognize him today anyway. But anyway, he was right. I didn't want to acknowledge that when he said you end up liking me or worse. And I don't know if he wanted. He might have ended up making commentation or something. He had to cool out, but I'm not sure. But it's nothing to brag about doing any time, especially a long concert. I've been a lot of old heads to brag about. I've been down 25, 30 years. It's nothing to brag about, because when you've been down that long, you're going to lose relatives, you're going to lose friends. A lot of important stuff is going to happen. There's a lot of people ain't going to never see again. In my case, mom, pop, a sister, a nephew.
So you never seen them again after?
They passed away.
They all passed away?
Yeah, they passed away or whatever.
Wow. Wow, that must be real. That must be real tough, especially for your mom and dad. To not see them ever. And Now, another question for you, man. This is really, really tough. But like, how you've been down for so long. You actually been down longer than I've been alive. So I know you probably went to a lot of different stops in Pennsylvania. How many state prisons did you change into?
I've been to about 6. This guy's been to way more than me. Since you mentioned that, when I started this incarceration, I think it was only like 12, 14 jail. Now they got over 30 jail. Like Crescent is new, Green is new, Albion is new. I might have been around 20 years, but all that stuff was new to me. The only jail I remember was Huntington, Gratisford, Pittsburgh. Jails like that. There's so many of these new jails. I can't even pronounce some of the names of them, but now they got over 30 jails. And I mean, what can I say? But the main thing is.
Well, which ones were you in?
Gratisford, Pittsburgh, Huntington, Green, Albion. I might have been in 5 jails.
Albion?
Albion. That was my last jail. Some guys been in at least 12, whatever. I guess according to my status, there were certain jails they wouldn't let me stay in because they had a no gate or whatever. I don't know if I dropped something like that.
But so what was actually your hardest stop? Because you seemed like you was, able to hold your own. But I'm sure every person
according to who passed away, like a mom or pop. What year was I in my mom? I think I was at Pittsburgh or something. No, my step-pop passed away at Pittsburgh. I was at Green when my mom passed away. That was probably the hardest because of, losing my mom. But every stop in the beginning was harder for me because, I was facing, that's the first time I had to face all this time. Most of it I've done at that point, I might come in and do a 5-year bid or something, get out or something like that, and do another 5-year bid. But any jail I would have been at would have been a sweetheart because of the time was. Now at some point, now that I think about it, but in reality it wasn't that way. At some point where it looked like 20 years sort of shot by, but it really didn't. It just seemed that way, Because I was locked up, I was in a hole or something. There was always something occupying my mind. But not the whole bit, not the whole bit. And it seemed like it was almost around 20 years that I really can't fully account for. I wasn't on drugs and I stayed in so much trouble and so negative drama that I didn't realize it.
20 whole years just went by like that because of all the stuff you've been getting into.
Wow. That sort of messed me up. The last 20 years, I can remember that sort of clear. It's sort of rough, because I had now I'm not a young man, 26 or more. When you get 40s, 50s, or especially in your 40s, you got to relearn your whole body. You got stuff going that never went on before. And the different habits. Sometimes you pick up a lot of, you eat a whole more sweets and jail than you do out in the streets, and then I get lazy. You don't want to go to sleep with a whole bunch of sugar on your teeth 8 hours, and you ain't gonna have too many teeth. I'm talking about, I might eat a half a box of Snickers or something, and my teeth are still probably messed up. I'm gonna have to get them fixed. But I know eventually I probably gotta have them talking teeth. That means when all your teeth get pulled, the ones that come, and I really don't want them.
Yeah.
And I really don't know I didn't realize how expensive the permanent teeth are. Right? Somebody said it's in $1,000, so I didn't know that. But anyway, I don't wish nobody to have to undergo, I don't think nobody have to do no 30, 40 years to learn the lesson. Yeah, maybe some people, I can't be judged. Like that old saying go, God is not only the best of knowers, he's the best of judges. I'm not God, but so I can't tell who should be incarcerated, who can't. I wouldn't be good at that job. But and me during this time, it would be hard for me to impose that on anybody, So, but I'm grateful to be here. I don't see people die in jail, get killed in jail, and all type of stuff. Lose their mind because their family cut them off, or their woman cut them off, and they couldn't deal with that reality. So, and then some people they just lose it. They lose the total connection of any friend or family, and that's a real rough incarceration when you're just in there, you ain't got nobody to write you, or and you can't. Some guys is in that position, but they might be blessed to be the pen pal, maybe might help turn your life around, might get married to them or whatever, but everybody's not blessed like that,
So what got you through 40 straight years? I know you said 20 years of it, you was just in trouble, and that kind of kept you.
I started getting myself together, trying to read books, get around positive thinking people to help guide me, and then I knew since I did the other half, even though I couldn't fully account where the whole 20 years went at, I knew I did it, but I still mess up on. I remember different events that happened, like sports events or something. Like if you ask me the exact date, I can't tell you the exact date. Just different things that happen. But I knew I had to not only get myself together for me, but I had to get myself together for whatever remaining family members I got.